Have you ever noticed how certain words, actions, or even looks from others can send your mind into a storm? It feels as though someone else has power over your emotions, dictating how you feel, how you react, how your day unfolds. But what if I told you that the key to freedom lies not in changing the world, but in understanding yourself? Once this understanding takes root, no one can truly trigger you anymore. At the heart of this wisdom lies the simple yet profound truth: our suffering comes not from the external world, but from our reactions to it. Every thought, every irritation, every spark of anger is a creation of our own mind. The world around us does not dictate our peace, our mind does. This is not an abstract concept, it is an observable truth. Observe the mind carefully. When someone insults you, do you feel hurt because of their words, or because your mind has attached meaning and judgment to those words? When someone cuts you off in traffic, are you angry at them, or at the story your mind is weaving about injustice? Understanding this is liberating. It is like discovering a door you never knew existed, a door that leads to a room of inner calm and unshakable peace. When you realize that your reactions are your own responsibility, you begin to see the world differently. You see situations, comments, and events as neutral, like clouds passing through the sky. They appear, they move, but the sky itself is untouched. Your mind can be like the sky. Storms may pass through, but the sky remains vast and calm beneath them. Practically, how does one cultivate this unshakable mind? Start with mindfulness. Pay attention to each thought as it arises, without judgment. Notice when irritation or anger begins to stir, and trace it back. Ask yourself, why does this situation disturb me? Often the disturbance arises from expectation, attachment, or a story we are telling ourselves. Letting go of that story does not mean suppressing your feelings. It means recognizing them, observing them, and allowing them to pass without being consumed. Another essential practice is compassion, both towards yourself and others. When someone triggers you, remind yourself that they act from their own confusion, their own suffering. Your calmness is not weakness, it is understanding. Your refusal to react impulsively is not indifference, it is wisdom. In this space, freedom emerges naturally. Remember, true peace is not about controlling the world or controlling others. It is about controlling the one thing you can, your own mind. When you master this, external events lose their power to disturb you. Words no longer wound, criticism no longer shakes you, and provocations fade like shadows at noon. You begin to respond to life with clarity and grace, rather than reaction and habit. This is not an achievement measured in hours or days. It is a lifelong practice. Some days will challenge you more than others. You may find yourself slipping into old patterns of irritation or anger. But each moment presents a chance to observe, to pause, and to choose your response consciously. With persistence, patience, and self-compassion, you create a mind that is unshakable, a heart that is free, and a life that is guided by clarity rather than chaos. So remember this: no one can trigger you once you truly understand the workings of your own mind. Peace is not something to chase, it is something to awaken to within yourself. Like a flame sheltered from the wind, your mind can burn steadily and clearly, illuminating the world without being consumed by it. This is the essence of wisdom, the essence of freedom, the essence of life lived fully and serenely. Suffering arises from your own reactions, not from what others say or do. Understanding this is the first step to freedom. We often live as if the world outside holds the power over our minds. A careless remark, a harsh word, a sudden disappointment. These moments seem to carry immense weight. It feels as though someone else has reached into our minds and stirred unrest, frustration, or even anger. Yet, if we pause and look closely, we begin to see a different truth. External events are neutral. It is not the words, the gestures, or the situations themselves that disturb us, but the meaning we attach to them, the stories we tell ourselves, and the reactions we cultivate within. This understanding is the first and most profound step towards true freedom of mind. Imagine a simple scenario. Someone criticizes you at work or in your personal life. On the surface, it seems like their opinion should matter because it affects your mood or self-esteem. You might feel hurt, defensive, or even enraged. But ask yourself this: did their words wound you directly, or did your mind interpret them, assigning value and judgment? The criticism becomes painful only because you have given it a place in your mental space. In this sense, your suffering is not caused by them, it is created by you. By recognizing this, you shift from being a passive victim of circumstances to an active observer of your own mind. You see that the power lies within you, and this realization is liberating. Consider how much energy we expend reacting to what we perceive as threats or insults. Each time we feel triggered, we amplify the disturbance through rumination. We replay conversations, imagine imagined slights, and rehearse responses that may never be delivered. This mental looping can consume hours, even days of our lives. And yet, the actual event, a word, a glance, an action was fleeting. The disturbance grows not because the external event is powerful, but because the mind accepts it, entertains it, and allows it to shape emotions. When we understand that our suffering is self-generated, we also see that we have the capacity to prevent it. The teaching here is simple but transformative. No one can truly hurt or anger you without your consent. When a situation arises that might normally trigger fear, resentment, or irritation, pause. Take a moment to breathe, to observe the mind's reaction without immediately acting upon it. Notice the arising of discomfort and recognize it as a product of perception. By doing so, you create a space between the stimulus and your response. Within this space lies freedom. Within this space lies choice. You may still experience an initial emotional surge, but you are no longer compelled to act destructively or remain entangled in suffering. You become the witness, not the victim. This understanding is not about suppressing emotion or pretending that challenges do not affect you. On the contrary, it is about embracing the reality of your inner world and taking responsibility for it. Just as a skilled sailor navigates the waves without being consumed by them, so too can we navigate life's challenges with clarity and poise. Recognizing that disturbances are opportunities for observation allows the mind to remain grounded and the heart to remain calm. External events become mirrors, reflecting patterns of thought and emotion rather than chains that bind us. Over time, this practice cultivates resilience. The world will continue to present difficulties, disappointments, and provocations, but their power to disturb you diminishes. Words that once stung may now glide past like autumn leaves drifting on a river. Actions that once provoked anger may now be met with quiet understanding. You discover that your inner state is independent of circumstances, steadfast even in the midst of turmoil. And this independence is not arrogance or detachment from life, it is the mastery of self, the essence of true freedom. In essence, the recognition that external events do not control your emotions is a gateway to liberation. It is a realization that shifts the locus of power from the unpredictable world outside to the steady observer within. Life does not need to be a battlefield of triggers and reactions. By taking responsibility for our own minds, by cultivating awareness and discernment, we step into a life of peace, clarity, and freedom. No word, no action, no event need disturb us once we truly understand this truth. The mind becomes a sanctuary, unshakable and serene, a place where external turbulence can never reach, and where our sense of calm and joy is governed not by others, but by our own awakened understanding. Mindfulness is essential. Observing your thoughts without judgment allows you to notice irritation or anger before it controls you. Detach from stories and expectations. Most triggers come from the narratives your mind constructs. Letting go of these stories reduces emotional disturbance. Compassion transforms reactions. Recognizing that others act from their own confusion or suffering allows you to respond with understanding rather than anger. True peace comes from within. By mastering your mind and choosing conscious responses, external events lose their power to disturb you, creating an unshakable sense of calm.